everybody. Welcome to the Paul Cervizzi Show, where we look at the qualities of a black belt and how they mirror, transcend, and equate to those qualities of people that are successful in business and in everyday life. And we're going to see today how those qualities really come together. 50 years in the arts coming up next year. Licensed attorney in Massachusetts in the federal courts, and also a probation officer for 32 years. I've really found out how martial arts has changed my life. And I hope through this podcast, I am really excited to share how it could possibly change yours. I'm really excited to do this podcast because I believe that martial arts is a way of life. It's a lifestyle. It's changed my life. It's allowed me to pursue my dreams and goals, both personally and professionally. And I'm excited to share that with you. All right. So a black belt isn't a trophy, as we know. And whether you're in the martial arts or not, it's something that you start from the beginning. It's not easy, it's not handed to you. Just like in business, you don't start at the top. And when we start to look at the people that are successful, whether it be folks like Elon Musk, whether it be like Jeff Bezos, whether it be anybody in the line of business or personally and in their personal life who we consider to be a champion, you start to look at these qualities, right? And the qualities of starting from the beginning and working yourself up is very difficult. What does it require? It requires grit and grind. When I was reading recently a book of how PayPal started and how they literally, those pioneers, were sleeping in the garage a couple of hours a night, not eating. And this went on and on and on. And all of those gentlemen have become huge success stories, right? And they started that way. We tend to focus on, ooh, all the money that they have or all the things that they're doing in the world. But we don't take the time to look at what it took and takes every day to get to that level. So think about it for a moment. We want to quit. We start martial arts, karate, any type of self defense program. I always say, and people say, this may be a quote, 90% of the success that we have in this world is showing up, right? It's difficult to show up in these days and times. We work, we have families, we have other hobbies and interests and things that we have to take care of. Showing up is 90% of the game. All right. And that's what separates the good from the great. I've often told my children when they're younger, and in fact, I do so today, is unfortunately a large segment of the population is average, is average. And they're okay with that. And I'm not minimizing the fact that average is a problem, right? Because there's people from all walks of life that been giving a dealt a hand where others have not, right? And we won't go into that, but there's a lot of us are more fortunate than others. But I often preach, and I preach this in our martial arts classes, is that it doesn't take a tremendous amount to go from good to great or average to great. Showing up is key. So, what are some of those disciplinary habits that we learn from martial arts or that we learn from successful business people that equate with each other? The, how are they relevant? What do they mean? Is it a magic potion that we take? Like, what is it? So, in business, it means returning calls, reviewing plans, following through even when no one is watching. It's not that immediate glory, right? We talked about this, and I will talk about this on other clips and other shows that we do, is that we tend to want that immediate gratification while people are looking. But what about when they're not looking? What are we doing? What are we doing to further our business or further our training in life? It's that motivation that gets you started, but it's the discipline that keeps you going. All right. So, right now, whether it's in business, whether it's in martial arts, we talk about consistently being consistent. and having the discipline and being held accountable by someone, by a mentor, by a coach, by someone you care about who is willing to tell you the truth and not just give you the fluff. Those small, consistent, daily habits create patterns. And as we know, patterns are what allow us to achieve success in life, right? Those disciplined patterns of routines, showing up for class when you don't feel like it, maybe not being the best in the class and getting discouraged, starting from a white belt. And as you progress through the ranks, oh, I got to test, I got to perform, I got to showcase. It's not all games, it's not all fluff, it's not all glory. It's tough to go through the ranks of martial arts. And like I said to you, 50 years doing this and now teaching constantly and still training. When I say I'm still a white belt after 50 years, because we're always learning. I spoke on a show, on a podcast recently that, you know, success or knowledge brings power. And that's what we have to do for our youth. We have to bring, empower, transcend, and make the kids of tomorrow that much better. So let's talk about respect and relationships for a short time, because when we go into the dojo, we bow, not just so much as a tradition. Why do we bow? Some people have a problem with that. I'm not bowing. All right. I'm not bowing. But it shows respect. It shows respect for yourself. It shows respect for your instructor. It shows respect for your dojo. It's a journey. Just like in journey in life, in business, the mindset builds trust. Trust builds teams. Teams create and foster the ideology of the leader. And that's what I hope to accomplish with the guests that I have in the show, is to look at leaders in business and in industries, leaders in life. What are those qualities? And we're going to find out the qualities of these businesses are very similar to the qualities that we go through, or that we come up with in our martial arts journey. Because as I said in the beginning, it's a journey, it's a lifestyle. It's not about getting a black belt. Yes, you learn how to defend yourself. Yes, you improve your physical prowess. Yes, you learn how to focus and have structure, not only in the dojo, but in life. But getting your black belt is just the beginning. That just means you've mastered the basics. It's a lifestyle. It's what we do every single day. Those habits that we form, those patterns that result. That's what matters. That's what matters. So, respect doesn't weaken authority, it strengthens influence. And the same goes to leadership, right? We're talking about the bow, we're talking about respect. And that's the same thing that goes into leadership. So, what else happens in the dojo, right? We talked about showing up, we talked about performing, we talked about respect, right? But you create a family, you create a network, you create a collaboration. So when you're down, people come to your aid. This is a very sad time for me in the last couple of days because a very dear teacher, mentor, and friend, Senior Grandmaster George Lim, passed away a couple of days ago. And this man is what everybody should strive to be. When I talk about community and family, he took me under his wing the last 6 or 7 years. And here I am at 62 years old. And he's giving me homework assignments, not homeworks of martial arts, homework assignments that will help family and help us to serve others, right? That's a community. And I always think about him, as well as my other instructors who are no longer here, of what they did for me. So we learn to adapt, we learn to modify, we learn to change. If a specific self defense technique is not working, we have to change. And in life, we spoke about COVID and the things that afflict us, and illness and death of a family member, the tragedy that happens all over the world. What do? Lay down and stop? No, we keep going. We keep going. A deal falls through in business. Do you close up business? Do you close up shop? No. Deals fall through. Plans fail. People disappoint us every single day of our lives. What do? Stop communicating with people? No. The martial arts teaches to be a family, a connection, a collaboration. Now, as we get older, the circle gets smaller, right? We learn who is who, what is what, who helps us, who's our cheerleader, who supports us, both in life and in business and in the martial arts lifestyle. And that's why it's not about a class. It's not about just a deal. It's not just about a personal relationship. It's that and all above that we can use to be champions in life and to help others. And as Grandmaster Lem said and showed every single day, it's about serving others. It's not about us being in the limelight. It's about teaching others to be in the limelight and for them to teach others. Right? So it's about resilience. It's about not avoiding the storm, but mastering yourself within that storm. You're learning really who you are, right? So when I teach high ranking black belts and I start to allow them to modify the material and adapt and change the material, I did it last night. And you know what they said? They feel uncomfortable because that's not how I originally taught them. And I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to learn to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. Because it's not until we becoming comfortable that we learn to grow. If we want to be the status quo, if we want to be the average Joe, which again, I'm not putting that down. I have respect for every profession, every person. As a probation officer, I was sitting in front of people that were struggling, business people, people of wealth, people of means. That old adage of, oh no, there's this certain walk of life that's on probation or that commits crimes. That's not true. That's not true. It's people that are struggling. They need support. They need support. They need to grow as individuals. So we need to learn who we are. So in the martial arts, when we talk about changing and modifying with these advanced black belts, it's about them. Not everybody's 6 feet tall. Some are small, some are big, some have a lot of strength, some don't. Some have a malady physically and emotionally. We have to adapt. That doesn't mean we give up. We adapt and we succeed. And we become the champions to those who need our help. That's the journey. That's the martial arts lifestyle. So every day you either sharpen your blade or you let it go dull. I want to sharpen my blade. I want to be better. I want to learn. I want to learn. I'm a white belt every single day. The black belt on my master red belt is that. It's about learning. It's about helping. It's about teaching. And it's about serving. And that's why the greatest leaders, the true masters, stay students for life. We're passing on that knowledge to the next generation. We're not holding it on like, oh, I can't give this up because then the student might have more that learn more than the instructor. No, that's how it was in the days when I started. You'd get little tidbits because the teacher wanted to have that ego and power. True martial arts, true martial arts teachers want to pass on their knowledge to create the legacy to others that it can help. And again, we must empower that next generation. So, in closing thoughts, success in life is like learning a black belt. It's built on discipline, respect, and resilience, as we spoke about. You earn it through effort, but again, you have to show up. It's about consistency. It's about going the extra mile when you don't even feel like showing up, right? Push it out. George Lim used to say, all right, enough. Now get back to it, right? No sympathy. We all go through tough times, but that's why God made 24 hours in a day. We have a new beginning every time we wake up in the morning. So I hope you will join me in my endeavor to show two things. One, I want to reach the masses to show what the benefits of martial arts is really about. And two, I want to show how the people that are successful in business and successful in life, whatever that means to you, share the same qualities, share the same disciplines that we learn and teach throughout the martial arts journey. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you follow me through. We're going to have a great, great lineup of guests, and I appreciate you. Thank you.